Yo, yo, yo. I'm on this at a manufacturing site. I think they make some kind of like plastic stuff and all that, and this freaking roof is huge. Ain't much on it, you know. We got another one of these makeup airs over there. These are they're direct fired, but they also have a return air, which is known as a 80-20 unit, where you can only pull 20% of your air from the inside of the building. You know, I mean, that thing's I don't know how far it looks on your screen, but that thing's that's probably 500 yards away from where I'm standing right now. Like I said, you know, all they got here is just exhaust fans and some big old gas line. That's like a 4-inch plus gas line, and it is some high pressure, and I mean high pressure. Never heard of this brand, but looks like a pretty decent little unit. I'll give you a little tour. Like I said, this is a direct fired unit. You got your outside air hood, which, you know, and that's a big old hood too. I mean, this thing's pretty freaking long. It goes out past the unit here at least 6 feet. Sorry, you couldn't probably see that. Yeah, that's probably at least 6 feet away from the metal mesh filters. You can kind of get a look in there. Let's give you a little tour. So, and what I'm doing here is I'll explain it, but here's the business end of a lot of it. You got a fire eye flame safeguard, your spark transformer, high airflow and low airflow pressure switches. You got your Bellimos. You know, there's Bellimos galore. Pilot valve, pilot regulator. You have your main gas regulator, your gas valve, and then BV stands for blocking valve, right? That's in case you didn't know, that is a safety valve. In case they were to leak by or anything like that, you're hoping that the second valve would stop it, so you're not constantly just pumping gas in there. Especially being a direct fired unit, you have to have safeties and precautions. This is pretty cool. I got a YouTube freaking manometer. That's sweet. I've never seen that before. Check that out. With unit running, water level must be in a green zone. With unit off, set water level on this line. And it basically is telling you if your airflow's good. Look, check that out. I have never seen this before. This is freaking pretty trick. It's a YouTube manometer, and some of you new guys might not even know what that is, but some of us older guys, well, that's what we used to have. We didn't have all these fancy digital tools. We had YouTube manometers. That's pretty trick. I never even noticed that until now. The burner profile plate, which, you know, a lot of you may know about all that, but anyways, you know, this regulator, let me see if I can get you a view here. You can see its max inlet pressure is 2 psi, which is, you know, for gas, that's still pretty decent. This is just a controls cabinet. I'm not going to open it up, but that's still pretty decent pressure. But yeah, I'm really digging that YouTube manometer. That's pretty badass. You know, I mean, they give you a pretty good amount of information on here. 5.9 inch. I mean, it's not a very big unit. It's like these things are like 2.7 million, which I don't know. To me, that's not very big. But anyways, you know. Oh, another thing, at least on that other unit behind me, they had a sticker that was right here. They actually gave you the belt span and the tension. So I thought that was freaking awesome. I mean, there was some good thought that went into this unit right here. And I like the fact they use Bellimo products. Wish it was a Honeywell, but, you know, nothing wrong with Fire Eye. It's your blower and your bearings. And there's your burner right there. So most of you will know it, but some of you don't. This is called direct fired. There is no heat exchanger. That flame will literally be out here in the open air as this blower's turning. May sound weird, but again, a lot of us are used to that. If we've been around a lot of makeup air units, you will see stuff like that. Yeah, that's a direct fired burner right there. And if it's indirect, you would have a heat exchanger like a regular old gas furnace, or a rooftop unit, something like that, like something that you are used to seeing. That would be an indirect. These are called direct. And then you can see it's got a return air damper, which that's what I was telling you. They call these an 80-20. You can only pull 20% of your airflow from inside the building. And that is 100% to do with that burner, because it being direct fired. And it's a trip on some of these bigger ones. I mean, you can have a 4-foot flame coming off that thing in high fire. Yeah, let's see here. What else to show you? I mean, nothing really much more is all that special, but we'll open up the panels. BX 105, 20 horse motor. I mean, that's a pretty good size centrifugal blower there. Here's a better look at the burner. All right, so when you're doing a maintenance on this, you take like a drill bit or some wire and you have to poke out every one of these little holes. I take a bristle brush, I clean all this. With these kind of burners, you want to look for like cracks that start to form in these things. There's your spark rod right there. Obviously that'll need to get cleaned. These are called your profile plates right here. This is where you're setting your airflow, so you're getting the airflow through the burner, right, and not around it. Yeah, that's called a profile plate. They're fully adjustable. A lot of you, like I said, already know this stuff, so I'm not telling you anything new. Let's see if these are loose. They're not, and I didn't bring a drill up here, so we will not mess with. This is where like your spark and flame rod and all that good jazz is. Nothing super special, but yeah. This is a makeup air unit, one that I'm used to these from when I lived in Buffalo. That's we had a lot of these, but they were a heck of a lot bigger than this, and they were like Rapids, Cambridge. God, I'm trying to remember some of the other brands. Rapids were the really big ones and the ones I worked on the most, but there was, God, I can't remember some of the names of the ones I've worked on. Seems to be out here in Austin area where I'm at. Most of your makeup air units are, Daikin, York, Train, Carrier. They're not like this, but this is a manufacturing facility, so they tend to have, there you go. You got some. Let's see how far I can zoom in. Here you got a couple Lennox rooftop units there. I mean, hell, they got a freaking power substation right there. Got some pretty good sized exhaust fans, but yeah, there ain't much here. And there's that other guy, and that's way over there. It may not look like it on the screen, but I am guessing that is over 500 yards away, probably. Yeah, who knows? It's a lot longer than I want to walk. But anyways, yep, that's what I'm here for. So I got sent out here to test the gas pressure, just to make sure, to see if we need regulators, blah, 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 any of that other jazz. And I can confirm we will. I'll show you this. I got two different manometers. This is my very expensive one. This one goes up to 5 psi, and then I have, just your one that probably most of you are used to using or seeing, the feel piece one. So this one right there, it can only handle 28 inches water column, and if you don't know what that means a half PSI, right? So 28 inches is a half a PSI, and that's as much as that can handle. This one is rated for 5 PSI, which I'll be honest with you, when you're testing gas a lot, you hardly ever see it that high, but you will in industrial sites. And the regulator for the building for all of this, right, is way down over there, and it said it was set for 5 PSI. Well, that isn't exactly true, and I'll show you. So I made this little rig. They had this here, and then I just made this little contraption here, put a barb fitting on it. You know, this thing's pretty fancy pants stuff. It's considered a scientific instrument. Let's see here. You can see I'm in the PSI range. Let's zero it out. All right. So, sorry, I'm trying to do this one-handed here. All right, there we go. There we go, governor. Yeah, I know it's reading, but that's, I mean, you're in the hundreds and thousands scale there. So watch this shit. I'm gonna crack the valve open, and yes, I know I'm using a bazooka to swat a fly here, but that thing is stiff. So watch this. I have to crack this too, because if I just go straight to open, oh yeah. All right. I just cracking it open, and maybe I'll go a little more than that. Okay. Now you can watch. She's gonna peg this thing out. Like I said, this one is rated for 5 PSI, which is a hell of a lot of pressure. And it's over that. See, E3, that is an error saying it's out of range. So we got over 5 PSI. Sorry, just trying to shut this damn thing off. Let's see if you can hear it when I take this hose off. If you can hear that. Nah, you can't. But anyways, yeah. So supposedly the regulator for the building for all this, it said it was set to 5. Well, I proved that it's over 5. And again, these ones are only rated for 2. So we are going to have to put an external regulator on the pipe going into that other regulator so we can drop the pressure down to 2 PSI or less going into here. Because, I mean, you can see max fire on this unit is 5.9 inches. So, I mean, that's water column. So, I mean, I don't even know what that would be in PSI, but it's not a lot. And they give you kind of a adjusted positive gas pressure equals total gas pressure required for the unit minus the measured suction. Measured suction is read at the burner gas pressure tap with the fan on, burner off, adjusted blah, 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 blah. You can read. I don't know why I'm reading it for you. Yeah, I know I mentioned this way too much, but I think that's freaking badass. They have a YouTube manometer. And anyways, that'll conclude today's video. We got a hell of a lot of pressure in this gas line. So I'll show you some of the ratings since that one was missing some tags. And I'll also show you how I'm probably 200 feet away from that unit. And God knows how far from this one. We'll see how long it takes. 15 seconds, right? Insert Jeopardy music. Do 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 do. I'll stop. Oh boy, you got some cooling towers over there. Hey, whoa, this times 12 magnification. She gets a little wobbly. All right, well. I probably shouldn't be recording me walking to a unit, but you can get the idea of what it's like when you get on some of these more industrial type sites. I mean, they may not always have a ton of equipment on a roof, but their roofs are large and you will be walking for a long time. My boy Steve-O knows all about that, and I'm sure many of you other ones do too. But I'll show you in this unit. I thought this was cool. I mean, I gotta give these people credit. I've never heard of this brand, Absolute Air, but whatever. I give them a lot of credit. Check this out. I love this. They give you your deflection between your pulleys and your freaking tension. 7.4. I think that is freaking badass. Like I said, this is a little guy to me. Max fire is 2.7 million BTUs. And it has a very high turn down to 100,000 BTUs. You know, gas pressure required at the burner for maximum rated capacity, 5.9 inches. I mean, that ain't much. That ain't much. 21,000 CFM at whatever, against external static pressure of 0.1 inches. 24,000 CFM. If a high pressure regulator is required, it must have an internal relief. Is again still a great idea right there, but yeah, I wanted to kind of show you the that's awesome. They gave you the span and the tension. I mean, that's not many people do that. That's freaking, that's pretty badass, if you ask me. But, all right. I've dicked around enough and wasted some of y'all's time, but yeah, I mean, this is just 1.25 inches, and that's like 3 or 4 inch right there. Well, actually, that's probably 3 inch. That right there is 4 inch. That's some big, and you can see. Some of you will probably trip on this. Some of you might know why they do this. And some of you might not. You're going to look at this and go, why in the hell did they do this with the gas pipe? And there is a reason for it. I want to see if some of you know. I mean, I know, but I want to, you know, in the comment section, do you know why they do this? And it's not to set something inside there. It's not. Like I said, I know why, but I want to see if some of you do. Why they do this. So drop it in the comments section if you know why. If not, do some research. You learn something new. You know, it's cool. Is it ever going to help you? It's possible, but it's also kind of cool to know, like, why would they do this? Why would they just not run the gas line straight? Why do they do this turnout right here? And there is a reason, and I do know, but I want to see if you know. And because I remember the first time I came across that, I was like, what in God's name are they doing here? Like, what is the point? It just looks like wasted materials. You'll probably laugh once you figure it out if you don't know. Or if somebody gives the answer, you'll be like, oh, okay. All right. So my hint on why they put that U right there, or, you know, which looks odd. My hint for that is, let's see here. How can I come up with a good one? It is for, you will find the reason why they do this is a part that you will find on a boiler or hydronic system. Could be even your water heater. The reason why they do this is also a part that is usually installed in a hydronic system. And yes, this is gas, but that's my hint. I don't want to make it too easy, but that's my hint. The reason why they do this is also a part that goes on a hydronic system that they serve the same purpose. Man, freaking tired, man. That unit is so freaking far away. Let's see here. That's times 3. Times 10. I can't even find the dang thing. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's times 12. It still looks small. Yeah, I know. I'm whining and complaining, but I'm getting old. But anyways, that's the hint I'm giving you. The reason why they do this is also a part that is on a hydronic system. And it does serve the same purpose. Let's hear the answers in the comments. There's no right or wrong. There's maybe knowing, not knowing, but at the end of it, you stick around, you pay attention to the comments. We will get to the bottom of it and you'll learn something new, because that's the whole point of all this. It's not just to be like, oh, look at me, I do HVAC, whoop-de-freaking-do. You know, it's to learn, to help, to share, to grow, you know, to meet new people, learn new things. We all have a good time, drink some beer, get into some fights, cause some trouble. Yeah, at least I used to. Now I'm just a boring old man. Anyways, time to get myself down off this roof. Man, I'm telling you, I'm out of breath from walking. Just from, there you are. Just from walking from that one. I'm tired. Y'all have a good day. Happy HVACing. Peace.